Curtain Call. Thanks to our great friends at the Capitol Center for the Arts in downtown Concord. And joining me, as always, on this segment is the marketing manager of the Capitol Center for the Arts, and that would be Lynne Sabean. Lynne, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, and you today?
I'm doing great. I mean, how could you not be doing great on a day like this?
Oh, yeah. We've been incredibly busy at the Capitol Center for the Arts. You may or may not know that yesterday morning we just announced the Beach Boys. They're going to be having a show on Saturday, November 5th.
Wow. Now that's exciting news. And I know you announced it yesterday. I just found out about it today. Mike Love, Bruce Johnston, and the Beach Boys on November 5th at the Capitol Center for the Arts. And tickets are not on sale yet, from what I understand.
They are not, but I have another surprise for you today.
And that is?
We have 2 tickets that are available for a lucky listener. They'll be able to get their tickets before they even go on sale to the general public. So someone is going to go to bed tonight knowing that they have tickets for this show.
For the Beach Boys. And they don't appear, I mean, I know they've been on the seacoast, but in the greater Manchester, Concord area, I can't remember the last time the Beach Boys performed.
It's been a little bit, and we are really looking forward to having them here.
Absolutely. So that's on November the 5th. Mike Love, Bruce Johnston, and the Beach Boys. And we'll give you the opportunity to call in and win tickets in just a few minutes, actually. But that's one great show, but there are so many. Where do you begin?
There are. Well, first of all, we had a sold-out house last Saturday night for Government Mule, which is a jam band. People really loved it. We had a lot of people that had never been to the Capitol Center for the Arts before, and a lot of people on the way out saying they couldn't wait to come to another show. That's
fabulous. So sell out for Government Mule.
Yeah.
And I guess tomorrow night it's Guster.
We have Guster, and for listeners of Curtain Call who were with us last time, we had interviewed Ryan Miller during the show. Ryan, as you might recall, during that interview, said that he had never been skydiving and would be really interested in doing so. And because we at Curtain Call and at the Capitol Center for the Arts are really about making dreams come true, we contacted Skydive Pepperell, and they very generously agreed to take Mr. Miller up in a perfectly good plane and throw him out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, hey, you mention it on this show, and it's likely to happen, right?
Oh, it sure is.
Especially during this Curtain Call segment. I can't guarantee any other segment, but during Curtain Call.
Who knows what Robert Earl Keen will be saying later on
today. We'll
today.
have to see if he would like to do something he's never done before. So
he's a pretty accomplished guy. I don't know if there's that much that he hasn't done before.
Well, so Ryan Miller will be skydiving courtesy of Skydive Pepperell. That is fabulous.
You bet.
Wow.
And then later on in the week, we have medium Lauren Rainbow, who I understand is a friend of the station.
Absolutely, yeah.
She has 2 shows, September 23rd and September 22nd, so a Thursday and Friday night.
All right, absolutely. And then right after that, wow, what a show. Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy, 80 years old and still at it, blues legend. Eric Clapton called him the greatest guitarist he's ever heard. I think that's
pretty high praise.
Quite accolades.
Yeah, that's pretty high praise coming from Eric Clapton, who's been around a lot of great guitarists over the years.
He's certainly the one to know a good guitarist when he hears it.
I would have to think so. So tomorrow night, getting back to Guster, are there still tickets for that one?
There are still tickets available for it. Anybody who wants to get tickets, they can go to CCANH.com, order your tickets online. You can also call the Capitol Center box office at 225-1111 or stop by our box office at 44 South Main Street here in Concord.
That is terrific. Stop by. What are the box office hours?
Box office hours are 11 to 6.
All right. So there you go. You can do it the old-fashioned way. Actually walk up to the box office and buy tickets.
There's actually a very small financial incentive for buying the tickets on site versus doing it online. Or
there is. Okay. Okay. So do it. Get a little exercise. Take a little walk. Buy the tickets at the box office at the beautiful Capitol Center for the Arts in downtown Concord. And then, of course, the show that we'll be talking about today in detail coming up on October 1st, Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen.
That is amazing, Bill, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really and truly is. That's October 1st. and they go way back together.
They do. I mean, I knew who Lyle Lovett was, but I really didn't know who Robert Earl Keen was previously. And doing some research into him in marketing this show, their friendship goes back like 30 some odd years. They met when they were both in college, and have stayed friends and helped each other's career along the way. I think that's fabulous.
That is fabulous. So that's October 1st, and we're expecting Robert Earl Keen to call in the not-too-distant future. But we thought we'd give you an opportunity to hear Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen in a duet, which is called This Old Porch. And I'll tell you what, while you have a chance to listen to them, why don't we go to the phones and give away those Beach Boys tickets for November 5th. The tickets are not on sale. You will be the first person to have tickets to see the Beach Boys anywhere.
You get bragging rights. That's pretty awesome.
That's it, and that's November 5th. Well, so we'll take caller number 5 right now. Caller 5 for those Beach Boys tickets for November 5th at the Capitol Center for the Arts. In the meantime, we'll listen to the duet, This Old Porch, Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen on the Pulse. Keen and This Old Porch, and it's just magic. Robert Earl Keen is with us right here on the Pulse. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Ken?
I'm doing very, very well. Say hello to Lynne Sabean as well, who's with
Hi,
me.
Lynn.
How are you? Welcome to New Hampshire.
Where
are you calling
thank you
in
very
from?
much. Where am I calling from?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm in my home, Kerrville, Texas.
Nice.
Deep in the heart of
It's
Texas.
way down south, and it's more like the desert.
Well, it's great to have you with us here in New Hampshire, where you will be October 1st with your old friend Lyle Lovett. And I guess you guys go way back, huh?
Oh, yeah. We both went to Texas A&M together, and we've been friends ever since. And our, connection has always been music. Lyle, both of us played when we were in college, and then we took it from there. So it goes a long time.
So you're both Aggies, huh?
Both Aggies. I'm actually wearing maroon right now.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So once an Aggie, always an Aggie.
Absolutely so. Absolutely. And have you performed in this area very much, Robert?
I have. I've been up there. Several times. We were there a year and a half ago. I did a bluegrass record, and I was I went up there in the winter time. It was like 10 feet of snow, and but I expected that, and we played in a real nice place. I think it was outside of Concord, and then I've played there, several times. I was up there a few years ago with Todd Snyder. So yes, I love New Hampshire.
Well, wait till you have the opportunity to play at the Capitol Center for the Arts. Great acoustics there. It's a terrific theater, and I know you and Lyle will both enjoy it immensely.
And we only have 8 feet of snow right now.
Yeah.
No, really? Is that true?
We've hardly had rain this summer, let alone snow.
Oh, really?
We're kind of in a drought here, yeah.
Well, but it's cooler up there, right? Now.
About 70 right now, 70 degrees.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is a perfect day here in New Hampshire, without question.
You're so lucky.
We are very fortunate. What is it there?
Oh, I don't know. It's about 90.
Yeah, but you're used to that, right?
Yeah, well, that's actually not too bad. 90, I'm happy with. It's that 107 is what I'm not happy with.
Right.
I got in the car this summer, and the little thermometer in the car said 118.
Oh, man. Oh, and that's something. So 18 albums you've recorded, huh?
I've done a lot of stuff over the years. I've been with probably more record companies than Shaq was with basketball teams.
But 18. Your latest one was last year?
Yes, I put out a bluegrass record called Happy Prisoner of the Bluegrass Sessions, and it was a record of all traditional bluegrass, and I got all my friends that are just world-class players, and we just had a big time, just played all our favorite songs and put them down, and then put it out. It was a really, really good project, and we toured for about 9 months behind it. It was very successful.
Now, I understand you have a new album coming out calling Live Dinner Reunion?
Yes, that was from one of my most popular records was a live record I made in 1995 called Number 2 Live Dinner, and we did it at this place called Floor's Country Store outside of San Antonio. And it was really, at the time, it was just, I liked the sound of the band, and we were having a good time, so we just recorded it. And about the same time, I got a record deal with Arista Records in Nashville, and I had been with this little record company called Sugar Hill Records out of North Carolina, and I was really loved them. I loved the man who owned it, and so as a parting gift, I said, here, maybe you'd want to put out this live record, and it just turned out to be one of the most successful records I'd had, and it was the most successful record he'd had in about 20 years, and then about 5 years later, he had Nickel Creek, which was really successful. So it was kind of one of those happy accidents.
Now, you lived in Nashville for a while, right?
Yes, I lived in Nashville for a couple of years, and went up there at the urging of Steve Earle, and went there and found out that it was a tough business, and and I did everything. I did everything but play music there, and finally I had to move back to Texas because one of the things that I really missed was playing. And Nashville, for all its good points, which it has a lot, it's not a place where you can play on a regular basis. So I was playing all over the hill country in Texas, and even the towns like Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, that kind of thing. So I just missed playing. I've always been as much of a performer as a songwriter.
I was reading a quote that said that you never doubted that you'd spend your life making music for a living. For all the potential musicians out there that may not have that same sense of confidence, what can they do to get to that place?
Well, I just never gave up. I mean, everybody finds a different path in this life, and my thought was this is all I wanted to do, and I have a great sense of will when it's something that I'm interested in, and all I ever wanted to do was play music, and it was something that I was really suited for because I was really good with words and writing poems and stories and stuff all the way back to the time I was about 6 or 7 years old, and then I started playing the guitar late in life, and as soon as I picked up a guitar, I thought, oh, I can make this work. I can do this music, which I love, and I can write these songs. So that's how I put that together. But as far as getting out there and doing in the world of playing music, all I can say is, if you want to use my method, it's called brute force and ignorant.
So what led to your first record deal? How did that come about?
I made a record with a really fabulous dobro player in Austin, Texas, and then I pitched it to Rounder Records in Massachusetts, and they loved it, so they picked it up, and I it didn't do anything, but at least I got started, and from there on I learned how to make records. I learned how to go to people's office and have them play things and things like that. I just learned the ropes. It wasn't really like a playbook to go by. It was just here's how I learned how to make a record, and then I learned how to walk in somebody's office and say, you got to listen to this. And so from then on, I thought, well, part of this business is making records, and it's kind of a labor-intensive effort sometimes, but over the years, it's gotten to be my favorite thing to do. I applaud those people who love to stay in the studio, because at first I used to be so scared because I was so broke all the time, and it's expensive to make records. But the fact is like after a while, when you get kind of used to it, it's just another color in your big block of palette, your big palette of paints as far as like making songs and stuff. So I've gotten where I really enjoy making records, but that was really how I got my first record deal. Was just I made a record on a real independent basis, and then I was able to get Rounder interested in it at the time.
I would have never thought it would have been a Massachusetts concern that you recorded with.
Well, it was because Rounder was famous for folk music and songwriters at the time, and and still to some degree they're like that, but that was relatively popular at the time.
Who were your musical influences growing up in Texas?
Oh my God, I don't know. There's just so many of them. I mean, it goes. The first people I liked were the Marty Robbins' Gunfighter Ballad album, and then I loved Willie Nelson's Shotgun Willie when it came out. It was just a whole new world as far as country music. I was a huge fan of Ry Cooder at the time. I'm a huge fan of Loudon Wainwright. I love the humor, because the humor I think is really important as far as like live performance. It's just that kind of give and take that comedians have. So I love that part. And then I was always a fan of all the bluegrass people, everybody from Bill Monroe to Peter Rowan. So those are my thing is not widely varied, but it does have some kind of cool nuances.
Now, you've been quoted as saying that your songs are purely and unapologetically Texas. Are there people out there that really apologize for being Texans?
Oh, well, I used to be friends with this band called the Austin Lounge Lizards, and they had this song. They were totally comedy, all comedy. They had this song called "Here Comes Another I Love Texas Song," right? And they just, just tore it apart. It was just hilarious. Like how many, iconic things that people put in Texas songs, and they just threw them all in there. And there's a little bit of that. Texas sometimes is. I don't know. I guess you experience that sometimes in New Hampshire and all the election business. I mean, it's just like, sometimes it's overwhelming to itself. It's like the, snake eating its own tail at times.
So true. Well put. Robert Earl Keen is our guest, and he will be performing with Lyle Lovett coming up October 1st at the beautiful Capitol Center for the Arts in downtown Concord. So tell us what we can expect on October 1st in Concord.
Well, Lyle and I have done this. We did this a few months ago in the West, and we, like I said before, we've been friends for all these years, and played music together many times. But this one's special because it's Lyle and myself, and we get on stage and we start playing songs, and one song sort of leads into another song, leads into another song. So consequently, there's no two shows alike. Yeah. And Lyle is just a total master at sort of, creating this almost like a host sort of feel where he explains things very well, and he's very, very funny. And I'm kind of the fall guy, I guess. And
the straight man, huh?
Yeah, and we have a really great time throwing this stuff back and forth. And oddly enough, we just sort of never run out of stuff. I guess that's why we've been friends so long. It's just, it doesn't get jaded or worn out. It's just fresh like every night. So this is something I look forward to just immensely because it's really like a play day for me.
Now, you've called yourself an acquired taste. What does that mean?
Well, I don't have what you would call a classic voice. Like if the American Idol or The Voice are around, I wouldn't even make the first cut. But I have found that just my style and my cadence and the way I present things and the way I sing, I have people that they'll start out saying, I really, they're brutally honest. They'll say, I really didn't really care for your music much, and then I kind of listened to this, and I heard this song, and I really dig it. So, it's an acquired taste. People start listening to it a little bit. I think it's because, my songs have got some depth to it, and the words are not just, the everyday, run-of-the-mill sort of choices that people make in songs. Not to say that that's bad, but I really do work real hard at trying to have meaning and more meaning below the surface of the words themselves, and the melodies are pretty cool, so I'm good with that. But basically sometimes it takes people a while to another funny thing is cracks me up is like some guy will come up with his wife and he'll say, my wife loves your music. I go, what do you think about it? Well, it's all right. So usually they finally join the party after a while, but sometimes they're dragged into it.
Folks will get a great dose of it on October 1st here in Concord at the Capitol Center for the Arts. And is that a part of a tour that you're on?
Yeah, that's a full-blown tour.
Yeah.
That'll be going for about 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's almost every night. So it's really fun. I like that real rigorous sort of touring as opposed to what they euphemistically call weekend warriors, which is just basically you're just wasting your life away on the weekend. So I love this sort of more consistent touring. Yeah, so it's a tour.
So you'll see a lot of the country that way, I'll bet.
You see a lot of the country, and you get to kind of hang out and visit stuff. So it's a good way to tour. When I tour with the band, I mean, it's basically setting up, doing sound check. A lot of that stuff takes up your whole day. So this is somewhat more relaxed.
Well, we'll see if we can find you a place to play foosball when you're here in Concord.
Well, I'll have to bring my sister to do that.
Oh, yeah? Is she better than you?
Oh, she's the queen. She's the queen. Anything I learned about foosball, I learned from her.
Well, it should be a terrific night, and we certainly look forward to you and Lyle Lovett being here in Concord on October the 1st. And you're a delight to chat with, Robert, and I'm sure you're as delightful on stage along with Lyle. It should be a fabulous show. We look forward to it.
Well, thank you very much, and we're looking forward to it as well. I just, it's a great opportunity to come up to New Hampshire, which is a state that I really love, mainly because my drummer's from New Hampshire.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah. So when I introduce him, especially like we're in the South, like somewhere like Dothan, Alabama, or something, and I go, and you're from New Hampshire. There's like no answer, and I go, come on, guys! It's a state in the United States. So it's like I just really have a good time, like throwing that out there. But I've been there. I love it.
Yeah. So where in New Hampshire is he from?
It's around Concord. So
great.
Great. His dad was a teacher.
Terrific. Well, he'll have a little built-in audience of his own.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the further north you get, the more applause you get. I can promise you that. Yeah.
That's funny. Robert, we appreciate you being with us and look forward to seeing you on October 1st.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on your show, Ken and Lynn. I really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to it as well.
Very good, Robert. Thank you so much.
All right.
Robert Earl Keen, who will join Lyle Lovett October 1st. And, wow, terrific guy, and I'll bet they're fabulous together, as we heard just a little bit of earlier with this old porch. You hear a whole night, and that'd be fabulous. And we're going to give our listeners an opportunity to do that. Lynn, thank you so much. Another curtain call in the books, and always great to chat with these performers. They're fascinating people.
A pleasure as always, and we do archive these shows on the Capitol Center YouTube channel, so if you happen to be away during one of these broadcasts, please check it out there.
Well, that is fabulous, and I want to congratulate John from Candia, winner of the Beach Boys tickets for November the 5th at the Capitol Center for the Arts. Tickets go on sale again when?
They go on sale next Friday, the 23rd.
But John beat everybody to the punch.
Yeah.
So John from Candia will be there on November 5th at the Capitol Center for the Arts. Now we're going to give you an opportunity to win a pair of tickets for what should be a fabulous show, Lyle Lovett, and our guest, Robert Earl Keen, coming up on October 1st at the Capitol Center for the Arts. And again, you can get more information at ccanh.com. But right now we'll take caller number 4. At 1-866-823-1077 for a pair of tickets, October 1st, Lyle Lovett and Robert Earl Keen at the Capitol Center for the Arts. Caller 4 right now, 1-866-823-1077. And Lynne Sabean, thanks so much again. Another delightful segment of A Curtain Call. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here, and we'll be seeing you next time on October 6th, I believe.
Look forward to it.